So it's, despite what the website of the Western Canadian Baseball League may say, the Saskatoon Berries are the first team to reach 30 wins in the league this season, and they have a chance tonight to clinch a playoff spot officially with 20 games remaining in the 2025 WCBL season. It's Blackberries night tonight here at the Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, as the Berries are wearing a little bit of a different look here this evening. There is some purple in the numbers, but there is some black thrown in for the jersey tonight as they play host to the Swift Current 57s. Good evening, I'm Les Lazaruk, and this could be a momentous game here tonight for the Saskatoon Berries. A victory or a loss by Weyburn at home in one of two games in a doubleheader against Regina, and the Berries are guaranteed to be in a playoff spot. Of course, they want to be better than that. They are better than that right now. 30 wins, 5 losses. First place in the East Division. They've won their last 2 games, both last night in Weyburn. An 8-2 record in their last 10 games. 17-2 at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. They've won 2 of 3 games so far against the Swift Current 57s. And they'll play the 57s 8 times. The 57s have a record of 7 wins, 27 losses. They're 6th and last in the East Division. They are third. They have lost 3 games in a row, 2-8 in their last 10. 57s are 3-14 on the road, and again 1-2 against the Saskatoon Berries. As we're just about set for our national anthem prior to tonight's game. So the Saskatoon Berries get set to play host to the Swift Current 57s. Let's take a look at the Berries defensively here in the top of the first inning. In the outfield from right to left, it's Ethan Murdoch in right field, Carter Becks in center, and the left fielder is Jalen Freeman. Around the infield from left to right, third baseman Mason Rell, shortstop Nathan Houston, second baseman Abiam Medina, and the first baseman is Ethan Menard. Balin Sorensen is the catcher, and left-hander Matt Whitney is the starting pitcher for the Berries this evening. Matt Whitney will be making his 7th appearance, all starts, a 4-0 record, a 3.20 earned run average. Matt Whitney out of Plantation, Florida, has pitched 33 2/3 innings this season, has allowed 44 hits, 19 runs, 12 of them earned, has struck out 24 and walked 7. Whitney, in his last appearance, was back on July 5th at home against Regina, a 6-4 loss to the Red Sox. He did not get the decision, pitched 6 innings, allowed 10 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 3, and walked 1. Matt Whitney 6'5", 205-pounder out of Plantation, Florida, coming off his senior year at West Texas A&M, where he had a record of 1 win, no losses, basically used as a reliever there, an earned run average of 3.34. 5 years of college behind him, 51 college appearances, a 4-1 record, and a 5.40 earned run average. Our umpires for tonight, behind home plate, it's Justin Anderson. At first base is the crew chief, Trevor Drury, and the third base umpire is Bobby Mark. This is current 57s. Under the direction of Rudy Estrella, we'll have Silas Hilton, the left fielder, leading it off. Luis Ayala, the catcher, and then third baseman Wilmer Henriquez will be the guaranteed 3 hitters that Whitney will face here in the top of the first inning. It is a nice day and a nice evening coming here in Saskatoon. No rain in the forecast, partly cloudy skies at game time, and 26 degrees Celsius, winds out of the west-northwest at 35, gusting to 45 kilometers per hour. So those flags above the right field fence here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field are flapping pretty briskly, and that wind is blowing out. So anything hit to right field will get the advantage of the carrying wind here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Silas Hilton will lead it off, right-handed hitting left fielder for the 57s. Matt Whitney leans in. Justin Anderson, the home plate umpire, says play ball. And Whitney obliges by throwing a first pitch breaking ball in for a strike. At 6:02, Saturday evening, July 12th. Less than a month to go in the regular season. 20-21 games, swing and a miss. 2 strikes on Hilton. 20-21 games for most part for the teams in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Left to go in the regular season. Whitney ahead, 2 strikes on Silas Hilton. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's a good start, a 3-pitch strikeout for the Barries All-Star. Whitney, one of 6 Barrie players who will be heading to Okotoks a week from today to compete in the WCBL All-Star Game at Siemens Stadium. Catcher Luis Ayala now the batter. Ayala hitting .341, 31 hits and 91 at-bats. 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in. He's the catcher, and yet he leads the 57s in stolen bases with 6. He'll foul the first pitch off, up and out of play. Luis Ayala, his brother Jose, both in their second seasons with Swift Current 57s. 1 strike pitch is upstairs, ball 1. The Ayalas from Panama City, Panama. Luis coming off his senior year at Fort Hays State. Line drive is going to be foul down the third base side. Strike 2, 1-2 the count on Luis Ayala. Wilmer Enriquez up next. He's a dangerous hitter in the Swift Current lineup, leads the team and is tied for second in the league with 8 home runs. Whitney's pitch is outside, 2-2. Barry's come into tonight, despite what it says on the website, 30-5, not 29-5. One of these days, I'm told, very soon, the game from June 6th against Moose Jaw, 22-4 victory, will be back in the records. This one's popped up in the air, shallow left field, shielding his eyes and making the catch is the shortstop, Nathan Houston, and there's 2 away. And they'll bring up Enriquez. Barry's come into tonight with a 7-game lead atop the East Division over Medicine Hat. 11 games ahead of Regina. Moose Jaw is in 4th, 15.5 games back of the Barries. Weyburn, 8-26. Swift Current, 7-27. Medicine Hat's played 37 games already. They've only got 19 left. First pitch strike to Wilmer Enriquez. from New Brunswick, New Jersey, coming off his junior year at Cameron University. Enriquez is hitting .308, 32 hits and 104 at-bats. Right-hand hitter. Taps this one towards the mound, off Whitney's glove, deflected, picked up and thrown on to first in time, just in time. A good defensive play by Abiam Medina, who had to change his course to the ball, and it wasn't all that terribly hard hit, but he's still able to make the play and nip Enriquez at first base by a step. Off the glove of Whitney to the second baseman on the first for the out. 3 up, 3 down for Swift Current in the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits. No Barry's errors and nobody left on base. After a half inning, it's Swift Current nothing, and the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah. Can't do much about it then. Bottom of the first inning, Saskatoon Berries will come up and face Riker Ratcliffe, the starting pitcher tonight for the Swift Current 57s. He's making his 8th appearance of the season and 7th start, a record of 1 win and 2 losses, and 8.54 earned run average. Ratcliffe has pitched 26 in the third innings this season, allowed 41 hits, 29 runs, 25 of them earned. He has struck out 15 and walked 19. Riker Ratcliffe is from Lamar, Colorado, coming off his freshman year at Trinidad State College. 6 foot, 200-pounder. He'll face Carter Beck to lead it off for the Berries. Beck hitting .333, 35 hits and 105 at-bats. First pitch from Ratcliffe is down low, ball 1. Beck with 3 home runs and 20 RBI. Hit a leadoff homer back on Thursday night in Weyburn, the game that was eventually suspended and completed last night. He'll take a strike, and now it's 2-1. Beck, again, one of 6 players going to the All-Star game from the Berries. Outside, 3-1. Ratcliffe has walked more than he has struck out this season. Here he comes trying to stay alive in the count. That is outside and low, ball 4. And the Berries have the leadoff man on. Ratcliffe's last action was on July 6th, last Sunday in Weyburn, when the 57s lost 8-6. Ratcliffe not involved in the decision, pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowed 9 hits, 6 runs all earned, struck out 3 and walked 3. Ethan Menard to the plate now for the Berries. Breaking ball in for a strike. Menard, number 2 in the WCBL in batting average at .427. 41 hits and 96 at-bats. That with a breaking ball down and away, ball 1, 1-1. Menard with 8 home runs and 26 RBI. Ratcliffe's pitch, breaking ball, change-up. Didn't have a lot on that one, and it's up high, 2-1. Menard will eat up fastballs if you throw them to him. Ratcliffe not giving him much in the way of a fastball, although there, and a swing and a miss. May have tipped it into the glove of the catcher, Luis Ayala, but 2-2 the count. Beck a threat to steal on first base. And Ratcliffe will step off the bag knowing that. Beck is 8 for 9 in stolen bases so far this year. 2-2 pitch to Menard. Foul back into the screen. Count holds at 2-2. A.B. and Medina, the second baseman, on deck. Balin Sorensen hoping to get a at-bat here in the bottom of the first inning for the Blackberries tonight. Hit back to the mound. Ratcliffe spears it, throws on to second and on to first. They're saying that the runner came off the bag. The fielder, I should say, came off the bag taking the throw at second, and nobody is out on this play. Ratcliffe speared the hip, the comebacker, threw over to second, and the second baseman, Yudi Imai, stretched trying to keep it, foot on the bag, unable to do so. So Menard is on a fielder's choice, and Beck is on second because of a throwing error to the pitcher. So 2 men on with nobody out, and ABM Medina the hitter. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. Medina hitting .376, 38 hits in 101 at-bats. 2 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Riker Ratcliffe, master of his own disaster here as it stands right now. Off-speed breaking ball stays up high, 2-0. A leadoff walk and then a tailor-made double play grounder that the initial throw to second base was off the mark and everybody was safe. Ratcliffe's pitch, Medina fouls it up the first baseline. 2 balls and a strike. Medina from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Coming off a 2025 college season with Texas A&M International, where he hit .353. Now, Ratcliffe wheels and does not fire, and Beck, thinking maybe a pickoff play was on, scrambled back and gets his uniform pants dirty. That didn't take long. 2-1 the count on Medina. And on the outside corner for a strike, 2-2 the count. Balin Sorensen, the catcher, on deck. Nathan Houston in the hole. Barry's catcher and shortstop, respectively. Two and two pitch up coming from Riker Ratcliffe. This one's hit on a line into center field and able to make the catch. And the throw on into the infield, and Beck will advance to third base. Good defensive play out in center field by Jose Ayala. So there's one away. Runner on first and third with one out. And Balin Sorensen with a chance now to bring in Beck 90 feet away from home plate. Sorensen had the big hit last night in the first game, the completion of the suspended Thursday game, as he hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th inning to break the 6-6 tie as the Berries went on to win 8-6. That was his 4th home run of the year as he takes a look at ball 1 down low. Sorensen hitting .288, 32 hits in 111 at-bats. 4 home runs and 24 runs batted in for the catcher from Monroe, Louisiana. This one's hit to the right side. Imai takes that one up off the body. He'll throw on to first, and that means no double play, and a run scores. Beck in from third base, an RBI ground out for Balin Sorensen as Ethan Menard advances to second base. 2 away for the Berries now in the bottom of the first inning as they take a 1-0 lead. Nathan Houston at the plate. And outside, ball 1. Berries have a run scored without the benefit of a hit in this bottom of the first. Houston hitting .333, 42 hits in 126 at-bats. A duck out on the pond. Breaking ball is outside, 2-0. Houston has a home run and 27 runs batted in. Is tied for the team lead in a hurtful stat, as he'll loop one into right field. That'll get down, base hit. Menard chugging around third, heading for home. The throw home is going to be up the first base side, and Menard dives into home plate safely. An RBI single for Nathan Houston to make the score 2-0. For Houston, his 28th RBI of the year. And Menard scores to make it 2-0 for the Berries. It'll bring up Ethan Murdoch, the Swift Current product, playing against his hometown team. Murdoch hitting .270. Ratcliffe's pitch in for a strike. Murdoch with 31 hits in 115 at-bats, 3 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Line drive off the glove of the first baseman down the right field line. Chasing over into right field and getting the wave home and scoring on the play as the throw comes in late is Nathan Houston. A double for Ethan Murdoch against his hometown team to make it 3-0 for the Berries. As the right fielder chasing it down there, Braxton Vale able to get to the ball before it got to the fence. Otherwise, Murdoch might have gotten 3 on the play. But he gets an RBI to make it 3-0. Back-to-back hits for the Berries now in this bottom of the first inning. 3 runs on 2 hits so far. An error in the mix. Corey Waters at the plate takes a strike. Waters hitting .330. 35 hits in 106 at-bats. 7 home runs, 3 of them coming in his last 6 games in either first base or as a DH. Ratcliffe with a long look at second and a breaking ball in there for strike 2. Mason Rell is on deck, the Berries' third baseman. Strong start to the night for the Berries. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the first, and 3 runs here in the bottom of the first. Waters reaches out and hits one foul back into the screen to stay alive. 2 strikes the count on the Saskatoon product, who will be heading to Winthrop College next winter, but he attended Mid-Plains McCook College in Nebraska the last 2 years. Fouls another pitch off. Stays alive at 2 strikes. Right now, all runs for this inning are unearned, even though it's Riker Ratcliffe's own doing with the error. That one's outside on a breaking ball. Ball 1, 1-2. If I were in charge of stats for baseball, an error by the pitcher would not count as an unearned run. It would be an earned run because it's your own making the error. Just like it is when you walk somebody or give up a hit. But what do I know? 2-2, I have no authority to make those types of changes to the rules that have been around for what? 160 years when Abner Doubleday first came up with this game? 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 3 runs in for the Berries. Breaking pitch off speed upstairs. Full count now. 3-2. Yeah, I come up with some of this stuff in the middle of the night as I dream about that, which just means I'm weird some days. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3 on the slow breaking ball, and that's the end of the bottom of the first inning. But it was a productive one for the Saskatoon Berries. 3 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 Swift Current error and 1 runner left on base. After 1 inning complete here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it's the Saskatoon Berries 3, Swift Current 57's no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the second inning upcoming. Matt Whitney staked to a 3-run lead, looking for his 5th personal win of the season. And the Berries looking for their 31st and clinch a playoff spot. Let's just update the old weather conditions here tonight. Partly cloudy skies, temperature 26 degrees, wind steady now out of the west-northwest at 24 kilometers an hour, so it's slowed up a bit. But a left-handed hitter like Gus Kane, who will lead it off for Swift Current in the top of the second inning, if he can get one up in the air and well hit to right field, it's going to get maybe out of the ballpark. But he fouls the first pitch off for a strike. Gus Kane hitting .264, 32 hits and 121 at-bats, 3 home runs and 21 RBI. Fresh baseball being given to Matt Whitney. Home plate umpire Justin Anderson had that foul tip take a bite out of him. He's all right. Whitney coming up with a pitch to Kane. Fouled up the first baseline. 2 strikes. Jose Ayala, the center fielder. DH Ethan Bailey, guaranteed to hit against Whitney here in the top of the second inning. Whitney back on the hill, ready to go. 2-strike pitch upcoming. Breaking ball, hit in the air to left field. Jalen Freeman comes in a few steps, makes the catch. And there's one away. It's a pretty rapid top of the first inning for Whitney. He only threw 10 pitches to retire the 57s, 3 up and 3 down. Now it's Jose Ayala, the center fielder. Yes, brother to Luis, the catcher. Jose from Panama City, Panama. First pitch swinging, a little looper. That'll find its way into left field and find grass for a base hit. So Jose Ayala is on base. Ethan Bailey, the DH, coming up. Jose Ayala has attempted to steal a base 4 times and been caught every time. Rudy Estrella should probably think about not sending him. This first pitch hit on the ground. That'll get between short and third into left field. And that's a base hit. Back-to-back pitches, back-to-back singles for the Swift Current 57s as they try to answer back to the 3-run bottom of the first by the Berries. 1 away. It'll bring up Yuji Amai, the second baseman. Yuji Amai is only playing in his 3rd game. 0 for 4 in the 2 previous games total. Does have an RBI. Second baseman for the Swift Current 57s. Latecomer. First pitch swinging, pops it up. In behind first base. Ethan Menard can't come up with it. Now he'll throw to second, get one. And now they've got Ayala hung up in a rundown. Rell back to the second baseman, Medina, who tags him out. And Medina, and Menard, I should say, fakes out the 57s, and that's the end of the inning. A double play ball, as it turns out. So, Imai with a fielder's choice, and then a throw to second to force the one man, and then catch the second one in between second and third in the rundown to end the inning. 2 hits for Swift Current in the top of the second. No Barry's errors. 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, it is Saskatoon 3, Swift Current no score. You're watching Barry's Baseball on FloCollege. We're out. We're done with the inning, so it's... Oh, well, that's okay. Yeah. So now it's the bottom of the second. Yep. Pretty difficult. Bottom of the second inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries will send up their numbers 8 and 9 hitters, and then back to the top of the order to face Riker Ratcliffe. Mason Rell, the third baseman, left fielder Jalen Freeman, and the center fielder Carter Beck. The key thing in that last inning, that last play, is the fact that an infield fly rule was not called on the play. The umpire, it's in the umpire's judgment, if a ball is hit up in the air, as to whether the infielder is able to stand between himself and the ball, as the first pitch to Mason Rell is in for a strike. And the determination was that Ethan Menard had to go back into the short outfield grass in behind first base to make the play. So no infield fly rule, and Menard then did the right thing, as that's called strike 2 on Rell. Menard did the right thing without the infield fly rule, let the ball hit. This one's on the ground towards short. Fielded and thrown on to first base in time by Trig Mapes, and there's one away. Jalen Freeman, the left fielder, coming up. Surprise Swift Current didn't argue, but again, it wouldn't have mattered. The umpire, Trevor Drury, down the first base line, made the determination that it was not an infield fly rule situation. So Menard lets the ball drop, throw to second, get the force, and then catch the runner in between second and third and get him in a rundown as the first pitch to Freeman is in for a strike. Jalen Freeman hitting .307, 31 hits and 101 at-bats. Outside, ball 1. 1-1 on the product of Houston, Texas. In for a strike again, 1-2. Carter Beck on deck. Riker Ratcliffe working quickly. That one's outside. 2-2 the count. Ratcliffe's 2-2 pitch. Bounces it in. Ball 3, full count. Ratcliffe threw 32 pitches in that first inning to seven hitters. And that one is up high. Ratcliffe wanted that strike and didn't get it from the home plate umpire, Justin Anderson. So a walk, and Freeman is on base. Freeman a threat to steal. with 10 this season in 13 chances. Takes a good-sized lead. Ratcliffe's first pitch to Carter Beck is in for a strike. Beck walked and eventually came around to score the Berries' first run back in the bottom of the first inning. Ratcliffe, and he backed off the mound before he turned, so he's allowed to do that. He can fake when he does that. If he came right off of the rubber and did that. Here's a loyal hit ball to right field. This one is going, gone! Well out of here for Carter Beck. A 2-run home run to make it 5-0 in favor of the Saskatoon Berries. Beck's 4th of the season. And RBI's 21 and 22 of the year. One out. So up comes Ethan Menard. Menard, first pitch swinging, fouls that up the first baseline. Wide of the bag, strike one. Menard reached on a fielder's choice back in the bottom of the first inning and came around to score. Bounced in ball one, 1-1. Like I said, you get the ball up in the air with that wind blowing out to right field like that, you can get some. Here's Menard, well hit. This one to left field. And this one is up, and away. Back-to-back home runs for the Saskatoon Berries. Ethan Menard tied for the league lead with Evan Marshall at 9. RBI number 27 for the Opelousas, Louisiana product, as it's 6-0 for the Berries. So now it's ABM Medina coming up. And now we've got Rudy Estrella coming up, the head coach for the Swift Current 57s, to have a chat with Riker Ratcliffe. One away here in the bottom of the second inning. That's a quick visit. Estrella says, keep the ball in the ballpark, please. That's easier said than done sometimes. So now more of a meeting out on the mound between the players themselves after the head coach departs. Broken up by the home plate umpire Justin Anderson, and ABM Medina will come up. Medina flied out to center his first time up. Those hits for Beck and Menard extend hitting streaks for them both. Medina, first pitch swinging, fouls this one up in the air, left field side, and that'll bounce foul and out of play. Strike one. The Beck home run gives him a 6-game hitting streak, during which he's 8 for 21 now. Outside ball one, 1-1. Menard now on a 9-game hitting streak, during which he's 17 for 38 with a couple of dingers and 6 RBI. Bounced in, that hits the umpire. 2 balls, 1 strike. Beck on his 6-game hitting streak has a couple of home runs and 5 runs batted in. ABM Medina carries a 4-game hitting streak into this game, hitting .400 in that time, 8 for 20. Fouls that off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In that 4-game hitting streak, Medina has driven in 3 runs. 2-2 the count. 1 away, bottom of the second inning. Outside. Ball 3, full count. Bale and Sorensen, the catcher, on deck. This one hit in the air. Shallow right field. Trying to find it. Coming in and making the catch is Braxton Vale, and there's 2 away. sun can be a problem at this time. So Balin Sorensen coming up. He grounded out to second his first time up. Drove in a run on that play. Sorensen on a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Takes a called strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Ratcliffe trying to get out of the inning. Finds himself down 6-0. And there is action down the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen. This one's hit hard, and in between the first and second baseman into right field, a base hit for Balin Sorensen, so he's improved his hitting streak to 4 games. It was bobbled out in right field, and Sorensen takes second base on the play. So that'll be an error on the right fielder Braxton Vale for mishandling the ball in right field. Sorensen looked like he was going to be content with the single and then the bobble, and well, Sorensen took off for second and made it. So Sorensen now on a 4-game hitting streak, 5 for 16 in that time, with a home run and 4 RBIs. And Nathan Houston to the plate. First pitch swinging towards third. Picked up by Henriquez. Strong throw across the diamond just in time to get Nathan Houston to retire the side. Henriquez wants to show off that gun from third base. That was a hard, accurate throw to retire the side. But again, the Berries with another productive inning. 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 Swift Current error and 1 runner left on base. After 2 complete, it is the Berries 6 and the Swift Current 57's no score as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Matt Whitney back out on the mound for the Saskatoon Berries. He'll face the shortstop Trig Mapes and the right fielder Braxton Vale for the first time, and then to the top of the order for Silas Hilton, the left fielder. 6-0. Berries with the lead here on the Swift Current 57s. Sorensen will throw the ball down to second. And we'll get this half inning underway. Whitney only needed 6 pitches to get through 4 batters in the second inning as 3 guys swung at the first pitch. So only 16 pitches for Whitney to get through 2 innings. Pitch in for a strike on the inside corner to the shortstop Trig Mapes. Mapes hitting .253. 20 hits and 79 at-bats, 2 home runs, 18 RBIs. Line drive into center field, a base hit. 3rd hit of the game for Swift Current. It'll bring up Braxton Vale. Vale hitting .241. 21 hits and 87 at-bats, a home run and 9 RBI for a left-handed hitter. out of Pueblo, Colorado. Breaking ball. And they're going to ask for an appeal, and not granted for the check swing. Ball 1. Vale coming off his sophomore year at Trinidad State College. Whitney, the left-handed pitcher, looking right at the runner at first. Breaking pitch in for a strike this time. Ball, or strike 1, 1-1. Runner at first, Trig Mapes, has a stolen base so far this year in one attempt. Getting a decent-sized lead off of first. In there for a strike again as Vale showed bunt and pulled the bat back. One and two the count on Braxton Vale. Top of the order, Silas Hilton on deck. 1-2 pitch on the outside corner, called strike 3. That's the second strikeout for Matt Whitney in the ball game, and the first out of the top of the third. Bring up Silas Hilton, who was the other strikeout victim for the 57s. Leading off the ball game back just after 6 o'clock. We're about 40 minutes into this contest. Whitney's pitch is in there for a strike on the inside corner. Catcher Luis Ayala on deck. Hilton on a 3-game hitting streak coming into tonight. Breaking ball in for strike 2. Whitney seems to have all of his pitches going well here tonight. Hilton 5 for 9 in the last 3 games coming into tonight with a home run and 3 RBIs. 2-strike pitch. Fouled off, stays alive, 0-2. Nice Saturday evening. And a good-sized crowd here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Probably approaching the 2,000 mark, I would imagine. The party patio down the left field side looks like it's jammed up. There's people in the suite across the way. Fouled back into the screen by Hilton. He'll stay alive at a 2-strike count. Diamond seats pretty much all occupied. Same thing for the bleachers along the first and third base lines. And a lot of folks standing along the fence, especially down the left field side. And why not? Nice night. 2-strike pitch. Hilton lines this one into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. And runners on first and second with one away as Mape stops at second base. It'll bring up the catcher, Luis Ayala, who popped up to the shortstop, Nathan Houston, his first time up. Luis Ayala, 2 for his last 14 over the last 4 games and 1 at bat tonight. That's a 143 average for a guy who came into the game hitting 341, so a little bit of a slump here for a good right-handed hitter. Whitney, first pitch bounces in, gets away from the catcher Sorensen, and taking third is Trig Mapes on ball 1. Wild pitch there by Matt Whitney. Mentioned the All-Stars for the Berries. You got Matt Whitney, who's pitching. You've got Balin Sorensen behind the plate going to Okotoks next Saturday for the All-Star game. Ethan Menard at first base, Abiam Medina at second base, Carter Beck in center field, and relief pitcher Tanner Hosick. On the ground towards the shortstop, Houston. Backhands, throws to second for 1. On to first base. Not in time, as able to score is Trig Mapes on the fielder's choice. The double play just not quite fast enough, as that was a slow hit ground ball into the hole at short. They did well to get the runner at second for the second out, but could not get Ayala running at first. And so it's 6-1 now with only a runner on first. And the number 3 hitter, Wilmer Enriquez, up. Grounded out his first time up. First pitch low and away, ball 1. Enriquez was tied with Ethan Menard for the second spot in home runs in the Western Canadian Baseball League coming into tonight until Menard blasted one over the left field fence. Bounced in, ball 2, 2-0. Again, up in the left field bullpen on the Swift Current side is Max Noto. I don't know if he's going to be coming in or if he has yet to start throwing. There was somebody throwing back last half inning in the Swift Current bullpen. Enriquez on the ground towards short. And it gets through Houston, who was trying to make the play before he had the ball. Coming in all the way to third base is Luis Ayala. As Houston looked up to see what was happening with the play at second base, he was going to go the short route to finish off the inning, and instead, runners on first and third with 2 away on the error to Nathan Houston. So now Gus Kane, the first baseman, gets an opportunity. Flew out to left field his first time up. Hits in 4 of his last 5 games coming into tonight. Pitch on the outside corner for a strike to Kane. Gus Kane from Buda, Texas. B-U-D-A. Coming off his freshman year at El Paso Community College. 1 strike pitch to Kane, swung and a miss. Strike 2. That one was low, and he took a swing at that one trying to golf it. First and third, 1 run in here in the top of the 3rd inning, 2 away. Matt Whitney trying to finish things off here. All-star left-handed pitcher in the WCBL. Curve ball popped up. In play, Balin Sorensen doffs the mask, makes the catch, and that's the end of the inning. But Swift Current gets on the board in the top of the 3rd, 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 Saskatoon Berries error and 2 runners left on base. After 2.5, it's Saskatoon 6, Swift Current 1, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 3rd inning, Riker Ratcliffe back out on the mound for Swift Current. No change to the pitching just yet. Ratcliffe unofficially has thrown 56 pitches through 2 innings, given up 6 runs. On 5 hits, all 3 runs in the first inning are unearned because of an error he made himself. But all 3 runs in the 2nd inning are earned. He struck out 1 and walked a couple so far. Riker Ratcliffe out of Lamar, Colorado. And coming off his freshman season at Trinidad State University, so he's got a teammate in right fielder Braxton Vale and shortstop Trig Mapes as well. Left fielder Silas Hilton all attended Trinidad State College and all have found their way this summer to Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Speaking of Swift Current, here's Ethan Murdoch, who played for the 57s back in 2023. First pitch from Riker Ratcliffe is down and away, ball 1. Of course, Murdoch is from Swift Current. Up high with a breaking pitch, 2-0. Murdoch doubled and drove in a run back in the first inning. Swinging and a miss at another breaking ball, 2-1. Steady diet of slowish curveballs, various speeds. Murdoch will step out of the batter's box. Murdoch driving in his 24th run of the season with that double back in the first. It's this one well to left field. And you can kiss that baby goodbye. 7-1 as Ethan Murdoch hits the third home run of the evening for the Saskatoon Berries. Murdoch's fourth round tripper of the season. He has a couple of RBI tonight. Makes it 7-1. And we're going to get a pitching change. Rudy Estrella says, I've had enough. I've seen enough. 2 innings pitched for Riker Ratcliffe. He gives up 6 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned. All 4 of those earned runs coming off of 3 home runs against. Struck out 1 and walked 2. And he threw 60 pitches unofficially. So a new pitcher coming into the ball game for the Swift Current 57s. And it is going to be number 28, Max Noto, who I saw warming up down the left field line back last half inning. So Max Noto into the game. Max Noto will make his 7th appearance of the season. 4th time out of the bullpen. 3 losses, a 7.23 earned run average. Max Noto has pitched 18 2/3 innings, allowed 20 hits, 19 runs, 15 of them earned. He has struck out 9 and walked 12. Max Noto is from Wentzville, Montana, coming off his sophomore season at Southern Maine Community College. 5'10", 180-pound right-hander. He'll face the bottom third of the Berries order. Corey Waters, the designated hitter, third baseman Mason Rell, and left fielder Jalen Freeman. Noto, let's watch his delivery and see the 3/4 overhand type delivery from him. So a little different arm angle to look for here for the Berries with the new pitcher into the game, but the Berries have a 6-run lead. While we have a moment, let's look around the Western Canadian Baseball League tonight. As there are 7 games in total, there is a doubleheader on the go today. And actual fact, the Berries have actually already clinched a playoff spot officially because the Weyburn Beavers have lost the first game of the doubleheader at home to the Regina Red Sox today by a final score of 11-1. So 11-1 Regina over Weyburn. The second game will get started shortly, as well as the other games: Moose Jaw at Medicine Hat, Sylvan Lake in Lethbridge, Energy City at home to Brooks in Spruce Grove, Alberta, and Okotoks at Fort McMurray. So the Berries are officially playoff bound with that result. First pitch by Noto to Corey Waters is a called strike. Waters struck out against Ratcliffe back to end the bottom of the first inning. Noto's pitch, breaking ball outside, 1-1. Waters with hits in 5 of his last 6 games, hitting .333 in that time, 8 for 24. 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. Swinging a good stick of late as that one gets away from the catcher all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Swift Current team is a young team. as I go up and down their roster. Just 3 seniors. This one's hit well to right field. This one is 10-4 over and out. Home run, Corey Waters. It's 8-1. Welcome to the game, Max Noto. Yoicks. That's 4 round trippers for the Berries tonight. A trucker special for Corey Waters, his 8th of the season. And RBI 26. So now it's Mason Rell who grounded out to the shortstop back last inning to lead it off. 0 for 1. Breaking ball in for a strike. As I started to say, only 3 seniors on the Swift Current roster. The Berries have a dozen. And it kind of gets reflected in the team stats if we start to run through those here momentarily. Rell hacks at a pitch and bounces it up the third base line, and he'll beat that out. Might have been a wise idea for Wilmer Enriquez to let that go foul, but he barehanded it, and his throw did not make it. So a base hit for Rell. He's on. And the Berries now have as many hits as they have runs, 8 apiece. Jalen Freeman walked and scored in the second inning. Rell with that hit ends a 3-game hitless streak. He had been 0 for 10. That'll make him feel better. Freeman with a fly ball into right field. That one towards the line will get down. Taken there by the right fielder, Vale. Freeman digging for second. He'll get there safely, and into third is Mason Rell, as the Berries are teeing off now on Swift Current pitching. Nobody out. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the third inning. And now Carter Beck, who homered his last time up in the second inning, getting his third plate appearance here in the bottom of the third. Noto's first pitch down low, ball 1. Good block by Luis Ayala, the catcher. Three in the first, 3 in the second, 2 so far here in the third. Nobody out and runners on second and third as that pitch is up and in on Carter Beck 2-0, and looked like Max Noto slipped on his follow-through. He appears to be all right. Not wearing sleeves, which is odd for a pitcher. This one in the air, left center field. Coming over are both the left fielder and center fielder. The catch made in left, and heading for home and scoring is Mason Rell to make it 9-1 for the Berries. Holding at second base is Jalen Freeman, as the left fielder Silas Hilton makes the catch on the sacrifice fly, which is the first out. So Ethan Menard, 1 for 2, hit a long home run into left field, almost onto Lekas Field, which is next door. His last time up for his 9th home run of the season. Freeman at second is taking off for third. Pitch inside, the throw down, and Freeman is in there safely with a stolen base. Pitch was upstairs, ball 1 on Ethan Menard. Noto looks in. Menard chops this one towards third. Enriquez makes the play, throws on to first in time, and Freeman will stay at third base as there's 2 out. Brings up Abian Medina, who's flown out a couple of times. Medina came into the game tonight number 8 in the league in batting average at .376, but Now 38 for 103, so it'll be a little less than 376 now, probably around 368, 369. Runner on third with 2 away. Noto's pitch. Line drive into center field. That's going to split the outfielders and get all the way to the fence. Medina heading for second. He'll hold there with a RBI double as Freeman comes in with the Berries' 10th run of the night to make it 10-1. And an RBI for Medina, his 24th of the season. It'll bring up Bale and Sorensen now. Sorensen 1 for 2. Sorensen singled his last time up. Reached second on an error. This pitch is up high over top of his head. Ball 1. He's able to duck out of the way. Noto. This one hit on the ground. In between short and third. Shortstop Triggs. Long throw. Nicely done. Cross body moving away from first base towards third. But he gets the job done. Throws out Sorensen to end the inning. But the Berries score another 4 runs. On 5 hits, there were no Swift Current errors and 1 runner left on base. After 3, Saskatoon 10 and Swift Current 1. As you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. That's all right. Yep. Just leave it there for a second. I'm going to do totals here. Top of the 4th inning upcoming here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Let's take a look at the unofficial line score through 3 innings for the Saskatoon Berries. They have 10 runs on 10 hits. They've committed 1 error and left 3 runners on base. For the Swift Current 57s, 1 run on 4 hits. They've committed 2 errors and left 3 runners on base. 10-1 in favor of the Berries heading to the top of the 4th. Matt Whitney will face the numbers 5, 6, and 7 hitters for Swift Current, those being Jose Ayala, Ethan Bailey, and Yuji Imai. Ayala, the center fielder, Bailey, the DH, and Imai, the second baseman, to face Matt Whitney. As the ball thrown down. Here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Folks wandering around down below us, maybe going to check out the fruit stand, as they call it here, where the souvenirs and the merchandise is sold with the blackberries. There's a lot of blackberries merchandise to be had. Folks probably going to snap some of that up here. Matt Whitney ready to go. His first pitch is a called strike, a breaking ball on Jose Ayala, who singled his first time up. In his last 4 games prior to tonight, as he swings and misses at that one, 0-2. Jose Ayala was 1 for 15 in his last 4 games. An average probably up around 300, has gotten down to about 260-ish. 2-strike pitch, hit in the air to left field. This one's well tagged. Going back is Freeman, and that one's gone. Well, Swift Current gets a home run of their own, as Jose Ayala hits his 4th round tripper of the season, makes the score 10-2. Jose Ayala is 2 for 2 in the game. DH Ethan Bailey coming to the plate now for Swift Current. Singled his first time up. Was erased on the pop-up that was not called an infield fly and eventually turned into an inning-ending double play. And this one's lined into left center field, but Jalen Freeman coming across makes the catch. First pitch swinging and one away. It'll be Yuji Imai, the second baseman now. It was Imai who hit the pop-up that turned into that second inning ending double play. Imai 0 for 5. Right-handed hitter from Chiba, Japan. First pitch is a strike from Whitney. Yuji Imai coming off his freshman year at Olympic College. 5'5", 165 pounds. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball, 2 strikes. Yuji Imai is not quite as short as Eddie Goodell way back when Bill Veeck tried to inject some interest in the Chicago White Sox back in the day. That one's outside, ball 1. What was Eddie Goodell? He was 3'6" or something like that. And they sent him up to the plate. They said the strike zone was something like 12 inches or something like that. Up and down. Not much more here for Yuji Imai as he strokes this one foul down the third base side. Count remains 1-2. One away, a run in for Swift Current in the top of the 4th inning. 10-2, Berries with the lead. Matt Whitney glaring in for the sign from Balin Sorensen. Fouled off again by Imai, up and out of play. Count holds 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Whitney ready to deliver again. Breaking pitch inside. Had Imai dancing out of the way, 2-2. Shortstop Trig Mapes on deck. 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. Nathan Houston spears it off the second hop. Throw across in time, 2 away. So up comes Trig Mapes, who singled and scored the first Swift Current run back last inning. Mapes' single extended his hitting streak to 4 games. He's hitting .333 in that time, with 3 runs batted in. Swift Current shortstop at the plate. Swings and fouls the first pitch off, strike 1. Braxton Vale, the right fielder, on deck. Vale would mean 2 times through the Swift Current batting order for Matt Whitney. Swing and a miss on a changeup. 0-2. Two-strike pitch. Outside, 1-2. Whitney looks like he throws a sinker ball or some such pitch like that that breaks down and away from the right-handed hitter. That one's down low. Cut fastball that time, 2-2. Guy could almost stand to sit down with every pitcher and go through their repertoire just to identify a little better. There's swing and a miss, strike 3 to end the inning. Third strikeout of the night for Matt Whitney. Swift Current gets a run on the solo blast by Jose Ayala on 1 hit. There were no Saskatoon Berries errors and nobody left on base. After 3.5, it's the Berries 10 and Swift Current 2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Back for the bottom of the fourth inning at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 10-2, the Saskatoon Berries lead the Swift Current 57s. Everybody in the Berries lineup, the starting 9, has recorded at least one hit. Not quite everybody has scored a run. There's a few guys, a couple of guys at least, who have not. We'll name them. Oops. Abian Medina and Balin Sorensen. Here comes Nathan Houston, who singled and scored in the first inning and drove in a run. 1 for 2 for the Melville, Saskatchewan product. Heading to Louisiana Tech University in Ruston, Louisiana this coming winter. Max Noto back out on the mound, the second pitcher for Swift Current. First pitch up high, ball 1. Houston now for the season series is 4 for 17 against Swift Current, just hitting under 250. Takes a strike, 1-1. Nathan Houston, that hit in the first inning would make him feel good, as he was only 2 for 15 in his previous 4 games, so wants to get back on the sticks as his average right down to 333. Swing and a miss at a off-speed breaking ball. 1-2 the count on Nathan Houston, who of course is in his second full season in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Was also an affiliate with the Moose Jaw Miller Express in 2023. Played for Moose Jaw last season. Finds his way to Saskatoon this year. 1-2 pitch. Hit in the air. Center field. Jose Ayala comes in a couple of steps, makes the catch, and there's one away. It'll bring up Swift Current product Ethan Murdoch, who's doubled and homered, has driven in 2 runs. 2 for 2 against his hometown team. He's now 7 for 12 head-to-head against Swift Current 57s with a couple of home runs and 4 RBI. Line shot, and that one gets past the shortstop Triggs. Trigg Mapes into center fielder, and he is 3 for 3 on the game. Murdoch was 1 for 12 in his last 3 games coming into tonight, and he has broken out of that in an impressive way. Corey Waters now, who greeted Max Noto with a well-hit ball to left center field. His last time up, he's 1 for 2. Noto's pitch is line into left. That'll find grass. Couple of hops to the left fielder Silas Hilton. Ethan Murdoch moves up to second. And that's back-to-back hits for the Berries. 12 hits already in the night. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nobody throwing down the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen. Max Noto has to get some outs for Rudy Estrella and the Swift Current 57s. Mason Rell now up. Extended his, or got out of a 3-game hitless streak with his single in the 3rd inning. Also scored a run. Noto's pitch is fouled back to the screen, strike one. Blackberry jerseys seem to be agreeing with the Saskatoon players. Not that the white ones or the purple ones or the baby blue ones haven't agreed with them this season. They've hit no matter what jersey they've been wearing. As this one's lined between short and third into left field, Murdoch will be held up at third base, and we've got the bases loaded on 3 straight singles with 1 away. In the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll bring up Jalen Freeman. And now we see some action starting to happen down the left field line. It's Justin Puello, a left-hander, who's going to start to warm up as catcher Luis Ayala out to chat with Max Noto about, okay, we've got the bases loaded. 1 away. Let's see if maybe we can induce a double play ball and get out of this thing. Berries have scored runs in each of the first 3 innings and are threatening to make it 4 straight. Bases loaded with 1 out. Ethan Murdoch at third, Corey Waters at second, Mason Rell at first. Freeman doubled and scored last inning. He also had a stolen base. Noto's first pitch, Freeman lifts a little looper into shallow left field. That's going to make its way down. Everybody will advance a base. Murdoch scores, and it's 11-2. A Texas leaguer, they used to call those. I don't know if they still do. A little looper into left field, opposite field for Jalen Freeman, and his 18th RBI of the year. Texas leaguer would be right for Jalen Freeman, being from Houston. (11-2) the score. Carter Beck up. That pitch bounces away, and everybody's going to move up upper base, and Corey Waters will score from third on the wild pitch. Mason Rell up to third, Jalen Freeman to second on ball 1 to Carter Beck, who's 1 for 1 officially. Walked and scored in the first inning. Solo home run, or a 2-run homer, I should say, in the second. And a sacrifice fly in the third. He has 3 RBI in this game. Up high, ball 2, 2-0 from Max Noto to Carter Beck. Ethan Menard waiting on deck for his 4th plate appearance in as many innings. Couple of runs in, second and third with 1 out. Popped up. This one is down the third base side and will land in foul territory before skipping up into the party patio. Henriquez couldn't get to it to make the catch, and it's 2-1. Not that they would have had to have sent him because it's a 10-run lead, but Henriquez, if he had made that play running away from home plate, probably would have made an easy run to come home for Mason Rell. But this one's lined into left field. Hilton back. He'll make the catch. That almost went over his head. In to score from third base is Mason Rell, and on to third is Jalen Freeman. Another sacrifice fly to left for Carter Beck for the second out, and a 4th RBI for Beck. Still officially 1 for 1 in the ball game. Ethan Menard up to the bat. Menard is 1 for 3 tonight with 2 runs scored. Hit a solo home run in the second inning. Has a couple of groundouts otherwise. This one is lined into center field and going to go over the head of Jose Ayala all the way to the fence. Menard is turning second. He's heading for third. Here's the throw into third base, and he is out. Well done on the relay throw. Trig Mapes to Wilmer Enriquez to get Menard trying to stretch that into a triple. He'll drive in another run to make it 14-2 for the Saskatoon Berries after 4 innings of play. But Menard is thrown out. 8-6-5. Center fielder to shortstop to third baseman to finish off the 4th inning. 4 more runs for the Berries in that inning on 5 hits. There were no Swift Current errors and nobody left on base. After 4, it's Saskatoon 14 and Swift Current 2. You're listening to Berries Baseball, or you're watching Berries Baseball on FloCollege. Yeah, I'm going to get to it here right away. Okay, we're good. Top of the 5th inning, the playoff-bound Saskatoon Berries. It's official. Even though this game isn't over, they had a magic number of 1. Any combination of a Berries win or a Weyburn loss today would officially put the Saskatoon Berries into the playoffs. Of course, they have bigger fish to fry than just making the playoffs. With a record of 30-5, they lead the East Division and the entire WCBL. And, of course, have got a title on their mind if they can do so, as Matt Whitney's first pitch is a strike. Breaking ball into Braxton Vale here to lead off the bottom of the 5th, or the top of the 5th inning, I should say. Top of the order, Silas Hilton coming up. They're going to check at third base on that check swing, and the appeal not granted. 1-1 the count. Silas Hilton, the left fielder, and Luis Ayala, the catcher, coming up here in the top of the 5th against Matt Whitney. On the outside corner, 1-2 against Vale, who struck out his first time. Braxton Vale came into the game 2 for 9 in his last 4 games. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, and fouled off by Vale. He'll stay alive at 1-2. (14-2) here in the top of the 5th inning. The Saskatoon Berries looking for their 31st win of the year. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's strikeout number 4 of the night for Matt Whitney and his 2nd K of Braxton Vale in this ball game. Silas Hilton, the left fielder, coming up. He's 1 for 2. Struck out in the 1st inning, singled to extend his hitting streak to 4 games in the 3rd. Hilton now against the Berries this season, 6 for 9. Head-to-head, .667 average. First pitch swing, hits this one in the air to left field. This one is well hit. And at the warning track, just short of the warning track, Jalen Freeman has it. So Hilton put a good charge into that one, but came up a few feet short of putting it out of the ballpark, so 2 away. And that'll bring up Luis Ayala, who's 0 for 2. Ayala 3 for 12 head-to-head against the Berries, with 1 run batted in. Actually, 2 runs batted in. He's got an RBI in this game, his fielder's choice, leading to Trig Mapes scoring the first Swift Current run back in the 3rd inning. First pitch is down and in, ball 1. Luis Ayala in his second season, coming off his senior year at Fort Hays State. 1-0 pitch is up high, 2-0. Unofficially, Matt Whitney will be throwing his 58th pitch. There's not a person warming up down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. Down low, 3-0. Whitney with 4 strikeouts. Has yet to walk a batter, but he's in danger of doing just that. Meanwhile, down the left field line, Justin Puello is warming up. 3-0 pitch, taken all the way for a strike. 3-1 on Luis Ayala. Wilmer Enriquez, the third baseman, on deck. Three-one pitch hit in the air, center field. Beck taking off in pursuit. This is over his head and will one-hop the fence. Just right of straightaway center field. Ball back in, but Luis Ayala has himself a double. He is on second with 2 away. And for Luis Ayala, that is his 5th double of the season. So Wilmer Enriquez, the third baseman, coming to the plate. And now some movement down the right field line. Carson Obrecht, who hasn't pitched in a couple of games, is going to make his way down towards the bullpen and maybe start warming up. Enriquez is 0 for 2. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Actually, that looked like a changeup more so than a breaking pitch. Strike 1. Again, Enriquez with 8 of the 19 home runs, or the 26 home runs hit by Swift Current. '57s came into the game tied for 8th in the league with Weyburn as another changeup. Swung on and missed by Wilmer Enriquez for strike 2. 26 home runs now for Swift Current. They were tied for 8th in the league with Weyburn coming into tonight. Berries have hit 4 tonight. Give them 35 on the year. They were tied for 5th with Brooks in the league in home runs. Of course, minus the 1 game as Enriquez hits this one in the air to left center field. Beck is there in position. He'll make the catch, and that's the end of the inning. Just the 1 hit for Swift Current in the top of the 5th. They leave that man on base with no Berries errors, and after 4.5, halfway through, it is Saskatoon 14, Swift Current 2, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah. New pitcher coming into the ball game for the Swift Current 57s as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Justin Puello out of Bronx, New York, coming off his freshman year at Cerro Coso Community College. And we have a new catcher as well into the ball game, according to the home plate umpire, Justin Anderson. So number 16, Juan Almonte, is into the ball game to replace Luis Ayala. Almonte from San Juan, Puerto Rico, coming off his junior year at Bluefield University. For Justin Puello, coming out of the bullpen, his 7th appearance of the season, his 5th relief appearance, 2 losses, a 9.75 earned run average, 12 innings pitched. He's allowed 12 hits, 15 runs, 13 of them earned, 9 strikeouts, and 17 walks. Justin Puello on to pitch now for the Swift Current 57s. A rough go for Max Noto. He gave up 9 hits, 7 runs, all earned. As Abiam Medina will come up for the Saskatoon Berries. No strikeouts, no walks for Noto. He faced 14 batters. And a lot of them got on base with a hit. There's a strike. Puello's first pitch to Abiam Medina, who doubled his last time up and is 1 for 3 in the game with a 5-game hitting streak on the go. Medina 5 for 10 in the season series against Swift Current. There's a pitch way up high over the head of the catcher to the backstop, 1-1. Medina with 6 RBIs head-to-head against the 57s this year. Oh, thank you. We have an attendance figure already. 1,917. Medina on the ground towards first, taken there by the first baseman, and he'll make the play himself, Gus Kane, for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Balin Sorensen to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Singled in the 2nd inning. Grounded out and drove in a run in the 1st. Sorensen on a 4-game hitting streak now and is 4 for 12 head-to-head against Swift Current this season at .333. New pitcher Justin Puello on. Call time is called. Now Puello ready to deliver to Sorensen. Breaking ball hit on the ground. Shortstop Trig Mapes bobbles, picks it up, throws on, not in time. There'll be an error on the shortstop Mapes to put Sorensen on. It'll bring up Nathan Houston. Houston is 1 for 3 with a run scored tonight and an RBI. Houston for the season against Swift Current is 4 for 18, hitting .222. Pitch up high, breaking ball from Puello, Paul 1. Ethan Murdoch on deck. He is having a big night. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed by Houston, 1-1. Ball down and in on Houston, and he could not lay off. Slightly open stance for the Melville product and his coming off his sophomore year. Heading to Louisiana Tech. Gets that breaking pitch, and it'll get away from Almonte and behind him, and Sorensen will move up to second on the wild pitch. 2-1 the count on Nathan Houston. Pitcher Puello looking back at the runner at second, Sorensen, who just got there on the wild pitch. Swing and a miss by Houston, and count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ready to go again, a 2-2 count with 1 away. On the ground towards third, Enriquez picks that, throws on over to first in time, and Sorensen holds his ground at second base. There's 2 away. So Ethan Murdoch to the plate. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He just needs the triple for the cycle. Doubled in the first inning. Drove in a run. Solo home run to lead off the third. Singled and scored in the fourth. Breaking ball in for a strike. Murdoch, the Swift Current product, who attended Marshall University this last winter. Last couple of winters. Ball one. Justin Puelo. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss by Murdoch, 1-2. In 2024 at Marshall, Murdoch had just 10 hits and 61 at-bats. He hit 164 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs, but he had a great bounce-back 2025. Hits this one in the air. It's in foul territory, racing over left fielder Hilton, and he won't get there. Bare hands it on the hop, and that's just a strike. And actually, its count remains 1-2 now on Ethan Murdoch. Balin Sorensen at second, 2 away. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Murdoch in 2025 at Marshall had 10 home runs, 40 RBI, and hit 261. He got power. He hit one out tonight. That one breaks down and in, and it's ball 2, 2-2. Corey Waters, the DH, on deck. Down the right field line, that looked like Matt Whitney still throwing, trying to stay loose. Fouled back off the catcher's mask by Murdoch as he stays alive. Matt Whitney's thrown 64 pitches unofficially through 5 innings of play. He's likely to get one more inning at least from head coach Joe Carnahan. Tip ball, that went off the mask of the catcher again, knocked it off. He's all right. It also hit the ump too. That's why you wear the masks. 2-2 the count. Two people out. Line drive into right field. That'll get down, base hit. Sorensen around third, heading for home. Vale's throw home is going to be not in time, and Murdoch is 4 for 4 and has 3 RBI now in the game, as it is 15-2 in favor of the Berries. Corey Waters coming up now. Waters is 2 for 3. He struck out his first time up, then hit a solo home run in the third, singled and scored in the fourth. 1-0 count on him from Justin Puelo as Berries have scored another run in a 5th straight inning tonight. Fouled off at the plate. 1-1 the count. Waters 6 for 13 head-to-head against Swift Current this season now, with 2 home runs and 6 RBI for the Saskatoon product. Again, one of 5 Saskatoonians on the Berries roster. Strike 2 again, Waters. He was looking fastball, and Puelo gave him a breaking ball. 1-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 2. Almonte with the block, and he holds Murdoch at first base. Mason Rell, the third baseman, on deck. Puelo's ready to deliver. On the ground towards shortstop, in the hole, and unable to come up with it is Trig Mapes. That would have been a tough play for him. We're going to probably call that one a base hit, I think, in the hole. Yep. Base hit for Waters. Murdoch up to second base. And now Mason Rell. That was between the shortstop and the third baseman in the hole. And Mapes would have had to have gloved it and gotten that throw away while on the run. It wasn't overly well hit either. First pitch to Rell is a breaking ball in for a strike. Mason Rell 2 for 3 tonight, a couple of singles and a couple of runs scored. He's 5 for 10 head-to-head against Swift Current this year. Outside from Puello to Rell, 1-1. Jalen Freeman, the left fielder, on deck. Swift Current has just started their order going through for a third time. Berries are finishing off their fourth time around. Inside with a breaking pitch and low, 2-1. Puello, 2-1 pitch. Rell hits this one well. Well back to left field at the wall looking up. You can kiss that baby goodbye. First one of the season for Mason Rell. Fifth one of the night for the Saskatoon Berries. That's a 3-run homer. That makes it 17-2. (18-2). 4 runs in the inning. So now Jalen Freeman to the plate. Freeman 2 for 2 tonight with 3 runs scored. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody warming up down the left field line for the 57s. Rudy Estrella is just going to go every 2 innings with pitchers maybe and see how it works out. 1-1 the count on Freeman, who has a stolen base to go along with a 2 for 2 and 3 runs scored. 2-1 the count on the Houston, Texas product, coming off of his senior year at Eastern New Mexico University as he looks at strike 2. Two and 2 the count. Up the ground towards first base, but foul. Count holds at 2-2. Jalen Freeman this past winter at Eastern New Mexico, his senior year, had 5 home runs and 50 RBI in 49 games. Hit .316. Called strike 3. That ends the inning. Freeman doesn't like the call, but that's it. The Berries score another 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. On 3 hits, there was 1 Swift Current error and nobody left on base. After 5, Saskatoon 18, Swift Current 2. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 6th inning, Matt Whitney back out to pitch for the Saskatoon Berries, tonight's starter. Unofficially has thrown 64 pitches through 5 innings. He'll face the middle third of the Swift Current order. It'll be the first baseman, left-handed hitting Gus Kane, center fielder Jose Ayala, and designated hitter Ethan Bailey to face Plantation, Florida product Matt Whitney. Who looks to be on his way to his 5th win of the season. First pitch, a breaking ball in for a strike on the swing. Gus Kane 0 for 2. Flew out to left, fouled out to the catcher Sorensen back his last time up. Another breaking pitch and a swing and a miss, strike 2. Kane 4 for 14 head-to-head against the Berries this year with 3 RBI. Kane back into the batter's box. Left-handed pitcher against left-handed hitter. Fastball down and away, ball 1. Hour and 45 minutes into this one tonight. Partly cloudy skies here in Saskatoon, 25 degrees Celsius. The wind out of the west gusting to 33 kilometers per hour, so it's picked up a little bit again. And now Whitney backs off the mound. One and two the count on Gus Kane. Here leading off the 6th inning. Breaking ball, Kane lifts it into shallow left field. Freeman coming on, he won't get there. Knocks it down, Kane heading for second, and the throw is going to be not in time. Abia Medina slapped the tag on. They call him out. Said save. Oh no, he's just taking off a bunch of gear. Taking off his elbow pad. So Kane, is that a single or a double? Single and an error or a double? Double, okay. A double for Gus Kane. And it'll bring up Jose Ayala, who homered his last time up. He's 2 for 2 tonight. 5 for 14 against the Berries this season, head-to-head, with 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in. Whitney's pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Matt Whitney went to college this past winter at West Texas A&M his senior year. There's that off-speed changeup, and Ayala way out in front, 2 strikes. Whitney is 25 years old. He's actually played 5 years of college ball, not 4. Strike 3 called on Jose Ayala. Strikeout number 5 for Matt Whitney tonight, 1 away. He'll bring up Ethan Bailey, the DH, who's 1 for 2. Singled in the 2nd inning, flew out to left in the 4th. Bailey 2 for 6 head-to-head against the Berries this year with an RBI. This one's lined into right field and gets down a base hit. Ethan Murdoch will get it back into the infield. And holding at third is Gus Kane. So runners on first and third with 1 out. Back in 2021, Whitney pitched for Florida Southwestern. Mostly in relief. No record, no decisions, a 6.86 earned run average with a save. Then 2 years at McPherson College. The 1 year he only pitched in the 1 game in relief. Strike 1 called on Yuji Amai, the second baseman who's up. The next year he was 3-1 out of the bullpen with 2 saves. Then a couple of years at West Texas A&M. Swing and a miss. Amai is on behind 0-2 on Matt Whitney. Whitney with a 2-strike pitch coming to Yuji Amai. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a big second out with runners on first and third for Matt Whitney, as he'll now face Trig Mapes, the shortstop. Mapes singled and scored in the 3rd inning, struck out in the 4th. 2 for 8 head-to-head this season against the Berries. 6 strikeouts now on the night for Matt Whitney, and he has not walked anybody. And there's a first pitch strike. Can see why Whitney is going to the All-Star game. He pitches well. Good block by Balin Sorensen on a pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Good crowd again on hand here tonight. 1,917 at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. That includes people standing along the fences down the outfield lines, along the boundary fence, because every seat is accounted for tonight here in the ballpark. 1-1 pitch, foul back to the screen, 1-2. Braxton Vale, the right fielder, is on deck. Starting to see some action down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. This might be the last inning for Matt Whitney. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground towards third, and going to be called foul by the home plate umpire, as the other umpires were not in position to see down the line. Trevor Drury up the first base line, and Bobby Mark just on the third base side of second base. It was the home plate umpire, Justin Anderson, who had to jump out from behind the plate and look down the line to see if that was fair or not. Called it foul. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Whitney strikes out the side, sandwiched around a couple of hits that are left on base. 2 hits, 2 men left on base, no Berries errors. Through 5.5, it's Saskatoon 18 and Swift Current 2 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the order for the Berries. 5th time around for the Saskatoon batting order tonight for head coach Joe Carnahan and his team, and we're going to start to see some changes. Carter Beck is going to come out of the game from the looks of it, as Turner Zadunich has got a bat in the on-deck circle, and looks like he'll be the one leading things off. Ethan Menard is behind him and will likely bat and stay in the game at first base, but I believe we are going to see some changes here. Justin Puello finishes his warm-up tosses. And so into the ball game for the Berries is Turner Zdunich. He'll pinch hit for Carter Beck, who finishes the night 1 for 1 officially, and 4 runs batted in, a 2-run homer and a couple of sacrifice flies. Walked and scored twice tonight. Carnduff product, and WCBL All-Star gets the rest of the night off. Zdunich, first pitch swinging, hits it on the ground. First baseman will take it himself, and that's a good play by Gus Kane for the first out. It'll bring up Ethan Menard. Menard 2 for 4. Homered in the second inning. Doubled and was thrown out at third trying to make it into a triple. A couple of ground outs otherwise, and he scored twice. This is Ethan Menard's first appearance this season against the Swift Current 57s. Believe it or not. He's done all right. First pitch from Puello is in for a strike. Bottom of the 6th inning on a Saturday evening here in Saskatoon. Up high, 1-1. A.B. Medina, the second baseman, is on deck. Let's see if Balin Sorensen comes out to possibly hit this inning. Breaking pitch down low, 2-1. Joe Carnahan might be changing up the catcher. Sorensen has done a lot of catching this season. A lot of wear and tear on the body. Might deserve to get the rest of the night off as Menard fouls that one up and out of play and lands on top of the building that we are housed in. Back on the first base side of where we are. 2-2 the count. On the Opelousas, Louisiana product. Coming off his college year at the University of Texas at Tyler. Follows a pitch back and stays alive at 2-2. Ethan Menard does not get cheated on his swings. That is one thing we've known for a year and a half. Foul another pitch off and stays alive. Spoiling some pretty good offerings from Justin Puello, I should say. 2-2 pitch on the ground towards the shortstop. Bounces up high and hits Mapes in the chest. He'll get it and throw it on, and not in time. That is a bad hop on the shortstop, Mapes, who was there to make the play, but let's see what the decision is. It's single or error? Error, okay. They're going to call an error on the shortstop. No, base hit. Oh, single, okay. So they'll take the bad hop into account. And they're going to go check out Trig Mapes, the shortstop, to see how he is after taking that hop off his chest. He says, I'm fine. Leave me alone, coach. I want to stay in the game. Actually, is that Trig Mapes or is that somebody else that's shortstop now? Yeah. There is a different shortstop into the ball game now for Swift Current. That's Rydell Adair who's into the ball game. Meanwhile, first pitch from Puello to A.B. Medina is outside, ball 1. So there is a defensive change here for Swift Current. Medina back off the glove of the pitcher. He'll throw on to first, but not in time. That's a base hit for A.B. Medina, his second of the night. Second pitch swinging, and Menard moves up to second. First and second with one away. That was a line shot right back at the pitcher, and he was able to knock it down with his glove, but could not recover in time to retire the man. And Balin Sorensen is going to hit. So this catcher stays in the game. On the ground towards second. Imai flips to second for one. The throw on to first in time. Double play to end off the inning. Double play ground ball retires the side, and for the first time tonight, the Berries don't score a run in an inning. No runs on 2 hits. There were no Swift Current errors, and 1 runner left on base. After 6 complete, it is the Saskatoon Berries 18, the Swift Current 57s 2, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yes. Yeah. Well, let me just leave it down there because I'm going to do totals here. Pitching change for the Saskatoon Berries. Alex Chumrah is going to come into the ball game to replace Matt Whitney after a solid 6 innings from Whitney. Alex Chumrah has been a starter for the last couple of appearances. Now into the ball game for the Berries. Chumrah out of Parker, Colorado, and coming off his freshman year at West Texas A&M. 6'5", 210-pound right-hander is going to make his 6th appearance of the season and 4th from out of the bullpen. 1 win, no losses for Alex Chumrah, a 4.32 earned run average. 8 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, 8 runs, 4 earned, struck out 10 and walked 5. He'll face the number 9 hitter Braxton Vale for the Swift Current 57s. First pitch swinging off the tip of the glove on the hop. Medina with it to first and out. Medina with good hustle coming across after Chumrah tried to jump up and grab the ball, a high hopper off the bat of Braxton Vale, but still able to make the play. 1-4-3 for the first out here in the top of the 7th inning, and it'll bring up the top of the order. And Silas Hilton, the left fielder, who's 1 for 3, singled back in the 3rd inning. Alex Chumrah, first pitch in for a strike. Despite the score, game moving along reasonably well. Just over 2 hours now as it's fouled back to the screen. Strike 2 on Silas Hilton. Justin Almonte, or Juan Almonte, the catcher, is on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Chumrah has a K to his credit now. And there's 2 away here as Juan Almonte comes to bat. Almonte getting his first chance at the plate after taking over catcher from Luis Ayala, who finished the night 1 for 3 with a double. Juan Almonte playing in just his 8th game. First pitch strike from Chumrah. Almonte is 2 for 12, 167 batting average. 3 runs batted in for Almonte, who's a junior out of Bluefield University, right-handed hitter. Bounced in by Chumrah, 1-1. Top of the 7th inning, 18-2 for the Saskatoon Berries over the Swift Current 57s. First of 2 games. Here's Almonte bouncing one through the hole in the right side of the infield into right field for a base hit. A 2-out single, and the 9th hit of the night for the 57s. These teams will play again tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We'll be with you for the webcast, the stream, starting at 12:55. Wilmer Enriquez, the third baseman, up. This pitch gets away from Sorensen to the backstop. Almonte will sprint down to second on the wild pitch, as that was way outside. Ball one. Gus Kane, the first baseman, on deck for Swift Current. Bullpens are quiet here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 1-0 pitch from Chumra, breaking ball and a swing and a miss by Enrique. 1-1. Ball popped out of the mid of Bale and Sorensen. He chases it down, and holding his ground at second base is Juan Almonte. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike two. Chumra takes something off of that one. Froze Enriquez. And now in Chumra 1-2. Comes back with that, and it's called strike three on the inside corner. Second strikeout of the inning for Alex Chumra. And retiring the Swift Current 57s. One hit. One runner left on base, no Barry's errors through 6.5 as we head to the 7th inning stretch. It is Saskatoon 18, Swift Current 2. You're watching Barry's Baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Barry's with a 18-2 lead. On for a third inning in pitching is the number 3 pitcher of the night for the Swift Current 57s, Justin Puelo. He actually got the Barrys out without giving up a run in the 6th inning. We've got a new hitter coming up for the Barrys. Cooper Westland will hit in place of Nathan Houston. Nathan Houston was 1 for 4 tonight with a single and a run scored in the first inning. Westland takes a strike from Justin Puelo. Westland hitting .337 this season, 28 hits and 83 at-bats. Breaking pitch outside, ball one, 1-1. Westland has a home run and 11 RBI. One pitch, foul back to the screen, a breaking ball, 1-2. Cooper Westland from Lincoln, Nebraska, coming off his junior year at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. 1-2 pitch, fastball up high, 2-2. Ethan Murdoch is on deck. He having gone 4 for 4 tonight. Westland back up the middle. That will sneak through for a base hit. Hit number 21 of the night for the Saskatoon Berries. They've scored 18 runs. 4 of those hits has come off the bat of Swift Current product Ethan Murdoch. Including a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning. His 4th of the year, although it's actually his 6th because he had 2 during the 22-4 win in Moose Jaw back on June 6th. Yes, I will keep coming back to that until we actually finally get that game back into the records. Line drive, there's 5 for 5. Base hit into left field between short and 3rd. Westland up to second base. Hit number 22 of the night for the Berries. And now we've got a different designated hitter coming up here for the Saskatoon Berries. It'll be Aiden Kilshaw, one of the Berries affiliate players out of Saskatoon, coming up. So Kilshaw, who plays in the Saskatoon minor baseball system, under 18 league, getting an opportunity for a second time. Ball inside, ball 1. Kilshaw got a chance to bat on June 13th against Weyburn. Tried a check swing there, and a pitch that was up and in, called strike, 1-1. He was actually hit by a pitch in that game against Weyburn here on June 15th when the Berries won 13-4. That one's up and in, 2-1. Mason Rell is on deck. Joe Carnahan starting to empty the bench a little here. Pitch on the outside corner, 2-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 18-2 the score. Justin Puelo's 2-2 pitch is outside. He thought he had him strikeout. Home plate umpire Justin Anderson says no. Full count. Puelo ready to go. 3-2 pitch. Hit on the ground towards second. Imai to second for 1. Back to first, not in time. Kilshaw got down the line pretty quickly. That's a fielder's choice as Cooper Westland down to third base, and there's one away. Murdoch is eliminated off the bases, and Mason Rell coming up. Rell homered his last time up, his first as a Berry and first in the Western Canadian Baseball League. He's 3 for 4 tonight. A couple of singles before that home run. And fouls off the first pitch from Puelo for a strike. Bottom of the 7th inning, and they got to get the baseball, and that was fouled off just in behind home plate area. Puelo with a 1-strike pitch. Up high, 1-1. Jalen Freeman is on deck. On the ground to third. Enriquez with it. To second for 1. Over to first. In time. Double play. That's back-to-back innings with inning-ending double plays to prevent the Berries from scoring any runs. Couple of hits. 1 runner left on base again for the Berries in the bottom of the 7th inning. As after 7, it is Saskatoon 18 and Swift Current 2. You're watching Barrie's baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 8th inning, and some defensive changes. I see Nomar Prieto is into the ball game at second base, replacing Abiam Medina. Cooper Westland stays in the game and will play shortstop. Aiden Kilshaw remains the designated hitter. Actually, Jalen Freeman is in center field now, and Turner Zadunich, who hit in place of Carter Beck, is in left. Swing and a miss, first pitch to Gus Kane here in the top of the 8th inning from Alex Chumrah for strike 1. Ready to go again. This one's hit back up the middle. Prieto backhands, throws it to first in time. Nicely done by Nomar Prieto. Just came into the game, and as always, the ball finds you, and he makes a good defensive play going to his right in behind second base, and with a underhanded throw, almost a flip underhand throw, in time to get the out. So now it's Jose Ayala, the center fielder, 2 for 3 tonight. Singled in the second, a solo home run in the 4th inning. Fouls this pitch off, strike 1. Struck out in the 6th inning against Matt Whitney, who pitched a strong 6 innings for the Berries tonight. Gave up 8 hits on 2 runs. Another strike call on Jose Ayala. Matt Whitney struck out 7 and didn't walk anybody. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ayala is a strikeout victim. Third one for Alex Chumrah in this relief appearance for him, as the Berries have 10 strikeouts pitching here tonight of the Swift Current hitters. Chumrah's first pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1 by Ethan Bailey, the designated hitter, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Couple of singles and a fly ball. Breaking pitches down low, 1-1. Chumrah kicks into his delivery, and this is fouled off at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ethan Bailey. 18-2 the score for the Saskatoon Berries over the Swift Current 57s, the playoff-bound Berries. Swift Current is playing out the string. They won't be in the playoffs. Oh, Chumrah thought he had gotten strike 3 and was starting to head for the dugout, and home plate umpire Justin Anderson says, "Not so fast. That was inside, son." 2-2. This one's beaten into the turf in front of home plate. Chumrah with it, throws to first in time, and that retires the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Swift Current 57's in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no Barry's errors. Nobody left on base. After 7.5, Saskatoon 18 and Swift Current 2 as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Bottom of the 8th inning here for Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Barry's ready to send up the number 9 hitter Jalen Freeman, who's 2 for 3 tonight with 3 runs scored. Left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitching Justin Puello, who's on for a 4th inning of relief. Freeman first pitch hitting, and that one is hit well, and it is foul. It was over the fence, but foul down the right field side, barely. A long strike. There is action down the right field line in the Saskatoon bullpen. Puello's pitch is up high over top of the head of a ducking Jalen Freeman, 1-1. Try to catch who that is warming up for the Berries. Strike 2 called on Jalen Freeman, 1-2. That looks like Carter Kopp warming up down the right field line. 1-2 pitch hit towards short, taken on the hop. Long throw and not in time. Freeman gets down the line fast as that was just flipped out the bat and poked it towards short. A one-hopper. And the shortstop in the ball game now for Swift Current, Rydell Adair, fielded the ball, but his throw didn't get there in time. An infield hit for Jalen Freeman, his 3rd of the night. And so now Turner Zdunic up. He came on in place of Carter Beck, hitting in the 6th inning. Grounded out to the first baseman. Takes a strike from Justin Puello. Rudy Estrella wants to get Puello through this inning. Doesn't have to use another arm today. Fouled off towards the Berries' first base dugout, and quickly Puello's ahead of Zdunic, 2 strikes. There is a pitcher warming up down the left field line for a Swift Current. It's number 40, Mark Hunter. Up high to Zdunic, 1-2. Freeman at first. Nobody out. Zdunic at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. That was close. Good eye by the high-level Alberta product, Turner Zdunic, to take that. Zdunic has played some left field. He's played some first base. There's a pitch in the dirt. Freeman heading down to second and will get there safely as the throw is a little late. A wild pitch allows him to get to second. And so now Zdunic with a chance to drive him in, like the Berries need to score any more runs or anything like that. Three and two, the count on Zdunich. Hit back to the pitcher. Puelo looking over, and now they've got Freeman caught in a rundown. They'll tag him out, and that's one away as Zdunich reaches first on the fielder's choice. Ethan Menard coming to the plate. There's a little bit of mercy there on behalf of Jalen Freeman and the Berries. Zdunich from High River, not High Level, but High River, Alberta. My apologies. Coming off his freshman year at Colby Community College. He is on first base. Menard, first pitch swinging, pops this one up. In behind third, Wilmer Enrique makes the play. In fair territory, and there's two out. And it'll bring up Nomar Prieto for the first time. He came in to play second base back in the last half inning in place of Abiam Medina. Made a defensive play last inning. So it's Prieto for the first time facing Puelo. First pitch swinging, fouled up the third baseline, strike one. Nomar Prieto hitting .226. 7 hits and 31 at-bats. He has 5 runs batted in. From Vega Baja, Puerto Rico. Up and away, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nomar Prieto coming off his senior year at Texas A&M International. A teammate of the guy he replaced in the game, Abiam Medina. 1-1. Prieto holds off. Blocked by Juan Almonte. Pitch in the dirt, 2-1. 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Balin Sorensen on deck. See if he gets an opportunity to hit. Prieto lashes one just foul down the third baseline. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're into the 6th time through the order for the Saskatoon Berries tonight, and the bottom of the 8th inning. Sorensen, if he gets a chance to hit, is 1 for 5 tonight with a single and an RBI. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the end of the inning as Puelo registers his 2nd strikeout of the appearance over 4 innings. Berries, no runs on 1 hit. There was no errors for Swift Current and 1 runner left on base. After 8 complete, last chance hotel for the Swift Current 57s, down 18-2. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Top of the 9th inning, new pitcher coming on for the Saskatoon Berries to wrap this up. It'll be Carter Kopp, Saskatoon product, making his 7th appearance, all out of the bullpen. No decisions, a 1.28 earned run average. He's pitched 7 innings, allowed 8 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, struck out 5, and walked 2. Carter Kopp has pitched in this league previously in Fort McMurray. So he's in his third year in the WCBL, a second-year player with the Berries. Kopp last season pitched in 17 games, all in relief. 28 and 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 31 hits, a 3-2 record, a 2.19 earned run average, 15 strikeouts, and 5 walks last year. So Carter Kopp being asked to finish this off tonight. Bottom third of the Swift Current order. It's UGMI, the second baseman, up first, and the first pitch from Kopp is in for a strike. Imai 0 for 3. Playing in just his third game with the 57s. Looking for that first hit. Pitch up and away. Ball 1, 1-1. Swing and fouled off by Imai at the plate, 1-2. Kopp attends St. Xavier University. That one is low and away. Am I able to hold up the swing? Stays in the count at 2-2. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Carter Kopp comes into the game and registers a strikeout. 11 on the night for Saskatoon pitching. A pretty complete effort here by the Berries, scoring 3, 3, 4, 4, 4 in the first 5 innings and holding Swift Current to 2 runs. Rydell Adair, the shortstop who came in, first pitch swinging to the right side. Menard dove for it and couldn't knock it down. It barely dribbles into the outfield. But Rydell Adair is safe on first with that. Adair came into that at-bat hitting .226. That's his 22nd hit in 94 at-bats. And now he's on first as Braxton Vale comes up, the right fielder who's 0 for 3 tonight. Kopp's first pitch, Vale smacks that foul wide of first base. Strike 1. Vale has been struck out a couple of times and grounded up the middle. A good defensive play by Nomar Prieto. By Abiam Medina. Vale now fouls this one back almost into the Swift Current dugout, and quickly he's behind 0-2 to Carter Kopp. Top of the order, Silas Hilton is on deck. Kopp's pitch, again swung and hit foul up the right field first base side, holding into the count at 0-2. Two-strike pitch, again fouled towards the Berries dugout. PA announcer wants the crowd, what's left of 1917. Many of them have hung around. Get loud, and they respond in kind. Two-strike pitch. This one's lined into right field, a base hit. And it's returned to the infield by Ethan Murdoch. So back-to-back singles, first and second with one away for Swift Current here in the top of the 9th inning, and top of the order for Silas Hilton. Hilton is 1 for 4 tonight. Kopp's first pitch, Hilton wanted to check his swing and couldn't. Strike 1. Juan Almonte, the catcher, on deck. outside from Kopp, 1-1. Top of the ninth inning, 2 men on. Breaking ball outside. 2-1 the count on Silas Hilton. Calling themselves the Blackberries tonight. Swing and a foul tip. Strike 2. They have responded with the different look here at home tonight. 2-2 the pitch. This one smacked into right field. Ethan Murdoch backing up will make the catch. Tagging at second and heading down to third base is Rydell Adair. First and third with 2 away. And it'll be Juan Almonte coming up for the second time. He singled in the 7th inning. So Almonte for the season now 3 for 13. Jumps that average up from 167 to 231, playing in just his 8th game of the year. Breaking pitch down and away, ball 1. Wilmer Enriquez is on deck. Enriquez fouls that towards the Swift Current dugout. 1-1 the count. Kopp's got his sign from catcher Balin Sorensen. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, a changeup, swung on and missed. 1-2. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Trying to get the fans on their feet to bring it home. 1-2. Breaking ball down low. 2-2. Two pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's the ball game. Saskatoon Berries are in the playoffs for sure. That actually happened earlier tonight when Regina won game 1 of a doubleheader in Weyburn. But the Berries make sure of it here tonight as they win by a final score of 18-2. We'll come back with the final totals next as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, that's good. Back to wrap things up from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. A convincing victory tonight for the Saskatoon Berries over the Swift Current 57s. As we start totaling some things up here. Your final totals for the Berries: 18 runs on 23 hits. They committed 1 error. They left 5 runners. Make that 6 runners on base. For the Swift Current 57s, 2 runs on 11 hits. They committed 3 errors. They left 9 runners on base. The winning pitcher is Matt Whitney, who threw 6 innings for his 5th win without a loss this year. The losing pitcher on the Swift Current side is Riker Ratcliffe, whose record drops to 1-3. The attendance tonight, 1,917, a game that took 2 hours and 35 minutes to play. For the Berries, who had clinched the playoff spot earlier tonight when Regina beat Weyburn in Game 1 of a doubleheader, the Berries made sure that it was happening anyway with their 31st win tonight against only 5 losses. 3 straight wins now for the Berries, 18-2 here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, and they've won 3 of 4 head-to-head against Swift Current. The 57s are now 7-28 for the year, 6th and last in the East Division. They've lost 4 in a row and are 3-15 on the road. Same 2 teams will meet tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. We'll be back here with you for it at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, the Berries and the 57s. Until then, on behalf of all the folks at Flow Sports and all the gang at FloCollege, and of course, everybody involved with the Saskatoon Berries, I'm Les Lazaruk. Hope you had a great rest of your Saturday night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll be with you with the stream at 12:55 for the second and final game of this mini weekend series between the Berries and the Swift Current 57s. You've been watching Berries Baseball on FloCollege.